Hello, this is Solomon. We'll be looking at two replays. One is going to involve mass skills in the late game. The other one's going to be another Boar lizard game against. Oh. First, this game against this guy, Dash, or Lijme, however you say his name, I don't know. This match is a little interesting since we had to spend 10 minutes arguing about taking MGs or barbed wire and a deck with skills. And he believes in MGs, I believe in barbed wire. And the answer is barbed wire is just that much better. Like, you should just take barbed wire instead of MGs, because while there are particular circumstances in which MGs are superior, barbed wire is just much better too. But that's a whole separate video, so I won't go into deep on it. But in this circumstance, he actually does have a very strong situation for MGs, in which case it's like a choke point on high ground. And MGs do allow you to get up a super fast tier 3 easier, or super fast eco easier, since you still need an army to work with barbed wire. Yeah. Running my Boar Fox deck. Is running this deck, which is interesting. That's standard ult, nothing special happening. That's very forward one, which is not a good idea. 99.9%. Very bad for him if he had moles. So I decided to do my general skunk or skill skunk push. Up an MD. And now I decide, well, let me just actually get a boar. That is gonna extend more timing. And at the same time, he actually decides to go for a badger. And 4 farms. Now, I wasn't expecting a badger. I was expecting that tier 1, tier 2, and the force to farm. So the badger caught me off guard. And I figured I would just kill him when the board came out, so I didn't really focus on myself. Up. Yeah, one of the problems with skunks is that they don't push all a shamble. Like skills, skunk has very poorly against these, unfortunately. 4 farms. He's also doing, well, yeah, his 4 farms came up much sooner, which is not awesome. Almost a full minute. Or actually a full minute. My 4 farms are still getting up. Now he's going pigeons and maskrills and badgers, so very solid opposition. Like, look how much more army he has. I mean, have more at the moment, but he's starting to get a lot more very rapidly. So I see the badger, I'm like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. So I thought about pulling back. At first I decided to try to kill the badger, but then I decided to go back in and try to power bomb it, which probably generally isn't gonna work. The badger moves faster. That very poor micro on my part. I probably should have just tried retreating. Then use the skills to focus down the badger without shooting the boar or something. Try to set up barbed wire. I need some time and go off the skill on. So I have 11 or 10 skills versus badger. So it's like not good. But like I actually just focused down this badger, plus the barbed wire was actually doing a very not insignificant amount of damage. Now I just have this army of pigeons, but I actually still managed to hold nearly. But yeah, like I ended up losing so much. I'm just trying to get time for the board to come out. Yeah, he overextends a little bit. So I managed to get some a lot more kills here. I killed a bunch of the pigeons actually. Like, look how much his army dropped. Oh, in that last 10 seconds, that was huge. Honestly, I could have kept pushing in here, maybe go for the mill kill, but I knew he was rebuilding his badger. I just didn't know how long it was until it was up. But like, I had a good, 20, 25, almost even seconds. I could have killed the mill here. Would have been really nice, but I decided to play defensive. But I did lose a ton of warrants. I'm still really behind on the tempo, unfortunately. Like, he just has more army here, and Barbed wire is nice, but it only does so much against pigeons. Well, you need time, I guess, for the pigeons to heal. And at least the barbed wire, it does do a lot of damage if it's not careful. Like, 4 barbed wire will do a lot of damage. You throw in the army damage, and pigeons don't matter that much. So yeah, you go for fox here since it's a really solid counter to badger. I actually only lost 1 farm in engagement, which is fortunate. Going up the full 8 farms, so I'm really behind on the economy. What's up? Lay up the blood wire since I have the fox out now. Yeah, I mean I have the fox out. Like as long as I just micro the fox correctly, I can defend really well. So I noticed he went MG and he has snakes now, which is annoying. But I assume he's going up to 8 farms, so I just start farming up too. Barbed wire, since all this barbed wire hitting an army at once still will do a lot of damage, even with the pigeons. Like the pigeons are gonna only heal so much at any given time. I still have my army there. I just go straight up to 8 farms. He actually only goes up to 5 farms on his mill, so he actually has so much more army now. Okay, so I'm looking at his army comp, and I see MG, Badger, Pigeon, Snake, Skrill. Like, none of those are AoE. So I just realized I can just go, like, 30 skills. Now, I haven't seen Chameleons yet, but I know there's still a unit missing, but, like, I figured I already would have seen AoE. And, like, honestly, I'm behind, so I just kind of need to hope it works. I just go mass skills. Like, what's he gonna do? Like, that many skills are actually 2-shot a Badger. Snakes aren't gonna do anything. So, yeah. Mass skill is really good if there's no enemy AoE. And even in numbers this large, Chameleons aren't that good as battles get bigger, since Chameleons are melee. Like, they'll just get caught by the skill mollies. I just off the barbed wire since I don't need it. They actually start to catch back up in army. Another reason why in this particular circumstance it's gonna work is because I have the boar. So I don't know it yet, but the boar bomb is going to destroy all the chameleons, and ideally it's also going to hit the snakes, and in a perfect world, also the badger. Now, you can micro the chameleons away from the boar right before the boar explodes, but he has a badger. He's going to be microing the badger in this fight. He's not going to be microing the chameleons. Like, it's theoretically possible if you just switch to the chameleon real quick and just rally them, and hold down the rally for like a second or two, but it's still difficult. Hard to pull off. It's still going to leave your badger vulnerable for that second or two. In an okay spot. Now, there's a lot of micro I have to do. A bunch of things. I want the Skrills to engage first, so the Skrills take the snake hits. Because, again, he's going to be microing his badger. He's not going to be microing his snakes in all likelihood. Because otherwise, he can just micro the snakes after the boar. But if I have the Skrills going first, I can save the boar, so it gets right into the snakes and the chameleons in his army before the snakes start tagging the boar. But I also have to make sure the fox stays alive. Since the fox is the most important thing here. If the fox dies, I'm going to have so much trouble. So yeah, fight starts. I have the Skrills going first, and I rally the boar, and I focus on the fox. And yeah, that boar bomb, it hit the badger, it hit all the chameleons, it hit almost all the snakes. Like look at that. That was huge. Plus the mass skills are just doing a ton of DPS. Yeah, I have my, I'm mainly focusing on keeping the fox instead of trying to micro down the badger. Since as long as the fox stays alive, I should be good, especially since the badger is a one-shot territory. So I'm not super worried about the badger doing a lot of damage. I'm just focusing on keeping the fox alive. The badger does end up going down here. I don't know if the fox shot over the skills, but yeah, you don't want snakes against mass skills, so this is going poorly for him. Plus he's losing so many warrants. Lost cause. Yeah, weird. Sometimes it's okay to go back in the tier 1 in a later game. Like, as lizards, if you're fighting, I guess, snakes or something, or I don't know. I don't really feel like explaining lizards right now. Lizards are, that's a lot to explain, and I've only played lizards so much, so I don't know all of it off the top of my head. Squirrels, but with squirrels, if you're not fighting if you're not fighting AOE, there are definitely circumstances where going mass squirrels is the right call. Then there's also more obvious, like if you're fighting a fox, you're probably if you're fighting a fox enemy has no AOE, yeah, just go master one. Yeah, but no AOE, you can go mass squirrels or mass lizard. Doesn't mean you should, but definitely look into it as an option. Look at this game. Another Boar this game against Mocha. This one's gonna be much. This one goes much worse for Mocha and it ends fairly soon. He's running his Wolf Owl deck. Like the problem is here, like none of these units counter Lizard. I mean, Owls counter tier 1 since like 9 mice or 8 mice or whatever are always gonna kill off a bunch of tier 1 or some tier 1. Like they're always gonna get value, but they're like not a unit that's gonna save you if you're losing or something. Like the lizards are just gonna run over the owl. Like you have to be able to defend the owl. Owl's not gonna save you if you're in a bad situation, usually. What's up? I like to go triple or even quadruple lizard borns. Really, so I know I see he puts a mill up, so I decided to actually try to kill the mill. Or at least do damage. I'm not thinking I'm gonna kill the mill, but I wanna see if I can. So I see he only has 3 skills, and I figure he has reinforcements, but I have 5 lizards, so if I went in right there, I actually would have won the game, since I would have killed the skills and I would have killed the warren. But I was indecisive, I wasn't sure how many reinforcements he had coming up in the fog of war that I couldn't see. So I think I lost 2 lizards and I killed the mill, which is, I mean, I'll take it. It's really sets his economic tempo behind, even though I don't have my own mill up. And I also just got food value out of it. Now I decide to go get a mill. Yeah, I'm just looking to do more harass, and I see he has a ton of skills, and they put out another skill where it's like, oh, he's not going back up to a mill, he's actually trying to attack me. The NG down. I have the lizards forward to cover for the NG. And the fight's actually just really close. I think if I took a lot of damage before I started attacking because I was removing the lizards. If I engaged right away, like I didn't need the NG there, I think, as long as I engaged properly. So I am already building my farm, and now he's really behind on economic tempo, so the match is just going poorly for him. It looks like I did lose 3 lizards, and I destroyed his mill. I still equal food value, and it sits him behind tempo, so whatever. Try to see if I'm mill harass, but I back out since I can't get away with it. And one of the most important things with lizards is not overextending into base. If the enemy army is there, you should not go in 99% of the time. Absolutely sure you can win the fight. So I know I am ahead on tempo, and I have like a choke point base. So I just decided to put down the boar. And then he actually decides to go owl here, which is cool. I run the lizards, I decide to back out since he scouts it and rallies. It's I made a video of it, but in another game I also did boar lizard against him. And owl is not what you want against boar lizard. That maybe he thought I was trying to pull off something different. Or he didn't, or he thought I was gonna put down the boar later. Like he was hoping to get the owl out and give me so much pressure that I don't have time to put out the boar. But like I already have the boar out, so that was late. Playing out snakes, but I mean my boar is already a quarter done building, and snakes are not good against mass lizard. So I never scout the owl, unfortunately. If I had scouted the owl, I would have sold the MGs on more lizards. Here I just decided to go up to 8 farms. The idea here being that I'm just going to sell the boar after the first attack and just kill him with per lizard. Since he's gonna have anti-boar units up, like snakes or falcons or something, and and snakes, falcons die the lizard pretty easily. But yeah, he actually goes double Owl Warren, which a very risky play. Like, yeah, his stuff is so silent right away. It's a disaster. Focusing down the Owl. Get rid of it. Moving my board towards the Warrens, trying to Boar bomb them. Yeah, so I tried to go after the Owl Warren. I ended up bleeding so many lizards there at the end. Like, I think like 7 even. And I could have killed these 2 tier 1 Warrens, which would have been really nice. Here I go, heading south to Boar Warren, add more lizards. I see he's attacking my base, so I just go out with my lizard. Yeah, he has very limited army left when this dies, and he's down like, it's just a disaster for him. Like, the early game was fairly even. I definitely got the Eco Tempo out, and I got my Boar out first, but his response, or him putting down the Owl is really bad. Then when he scouted the Boar, he put down another Owl and Snakes. It was just a really unusual response that really didn't work out for him. Anyway, that is the end of this